What's up, Financial Futures family? Welcome back to another video where we dive deep into the financial and economic news that directly impacts your wallet. Today, we have some significant updates for those of you who rely on SNAP benefits through your EBT cards. We're talking major changes, fines, errors, and new laws that could affect how you put food on your table. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's kick things off with some troubling news out of Washington, D.C. The federal government has just slapped D.C. with a whopping $4.4 million fine. Yes, you heard that right, $4.4 million. But why? It all comes down to a high rate of inaccuracies in the distribution of SNAP benefits. This isn't just a slap on the wrist, folks. This fine is the result of D.C. surpassing the allowable error level established by the USDA for 2 years in a row. So what went wrong? The USDA's audit found that a shocking 20% of the cases reviewed had errors. Some participants were either underpaid or overpaid. Imagine expecting your SNAP benefits and finding out that you've been shortchanged or, on the flip side, that you've been overpaid and might have to pay it back. These errors aren't just numbers on a report, they have real-world consequences. Families are left confused, some without the necessary funds to buy food, and the process to fix these errors can take months. Advocates are sounding the alarm, saying that it often falls on the families themselves to report these errors, adding to their burden. Now, while D.C. is facing the heat right now, this issue isn't isolated. If you're a SNAP recipient, whether you're in D.C. or elsewhere, you know these issues aren't unique to one area. This situation is a stark reminder that the SNAP system isn't as foolproof as we'd hope. Now, if you thought $4.4 million was a huge fine, hold on to your hats because we're headed to Alaska, where the USDA has fined the state $1.9 million. Why? Well, Alaska's error rate in determining SNAP eligibility is the highest in the nation, 60%. That's right, 60% of the cases were either overpaid or underpaid, making Alaska the state with the most errors for the second year in a row. But here's the kicker: most of these errors were overpayments. And while some might think that's a good thing, the reality is that it creates a tangled mess when the state tries to recover those overpayments. This isn't about Alaskans trying to game the system. The state admits that these are mostly clerical errors and misunderstandings. Still, those errors have consequences, and now the state is paying the price literally. What does this mean for the folks in Alaska who rely on these benefits? Will they see a reduction in their benefits? Will the state pass on the burden of these fines to the recipients? These are questions that need answers. If you're in Alaska and have been affected, drop a comment down below. We want to hear from you. Alright, let's switch gears and head down to Florida, where there's a new law that could significantly impact SNAP recipients. Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed a bill into law that adds more requirements for the 3 million Floridians who depend on SNAP benefits. If you're between 18 and 59 years old, without anyone under 18 in your household, you'll now be required to complete at least 80 hours per month in an employment or workforce training program. But here's the issue: many people don't even know about these new requirements. And that's where the problem lies. Some recipients have already lost their benefits because they weren't informed that they needed to participate in these programs. Imagine depending on your SNAP benefits, only to find out that they'd been cut off because of a requirement you weren't even aware of. This law is raising concerns, especially among those who are medically complex or unable to meet these new requirements. One recipient shared that her health issues make it nearly impossible to complete the required hours. It's heartbreaking to hear stories like these, where people are struggling to meet basic needs like food, all because of new bureaucratic hurdles. Now, let's talk about something that's been a long time coming: upgrading EBT cards with chip technology. If you're a SNAP recipient, you know the constant fear of having your benefits stolen through card skimming. Pennsylvania is stepping up, pushing for EBT cards to include chip technology to prevent fraud. This is a big deal, especially since more than 2 million Pennsylvanians rely on SNAP benefits. The current EBT cards are vulnerable to skimming, where thieves can steal your information and wipe out your benefits before you even realize what's happened. Imagine going to pay for groceries and finding out your balance is zero because someone skimmed your card at a gas station or convenience store. It's happening more often than you think, and it's devastating for those who depend on every dollar of their benefits. By adding chip technology similar to what you see on most credit and debit cards, the hope is to add an extra layer of security that makes it much harder for scammers to steal from vulnerable populations. This is a change that should have happened years ago, but it's good to see that states like Pennsylvania are finally pushing for it. And it's not just Pennsylvania, other states are considering similar upgrades. So there you have it, Financial Futures Family, a roundup of some critical updates regarding SNAP benefits across the country. Whether it's fines, new laws, or technological upgrades, these changes have real impacts on millions of Americans. If you're a SNAP recipient, stay informed and make sure you're aware of how these updates could affect you. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who could benefit from this information, and subscribe to Financial Futures for more updates on the financial news that matters to you. As always, drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep securing your financial future.